I just did not have alignment between my podcast and my offer. Even though people were receiving good value from it, it just was not translating from podcast to business, from podcast to sales, from podcast to leads.
All right, today we are talking with Kymone Hinds from the Monetize Your Ministry podcast. Thank you, sir, for being here today.
Hey, Jonathan, thank you for having me on, and thank you for the work that you've done with me on my podcast.
So what would you say, starting right up, because you're an experienced guy, you've done this before, you have a business, none of this is new to you, but still we ended up working together. And I'm wondering, what would you say is the obstacle that has been holding you back from making your podcast work for you?
Yeah, I just did not have alignment between my podcast and my offer. I do coaching. I coach individuals to help them to discover their unique way that they serve others and then turn that into a stream of income. And my podcast, even though people were receiving good value from it, it just was not translating from podcast to business, from podcast to sales, from podcast to leads. And I was kind of stuck wondering how to do that. And so that was the big obstacle that was in front of me.
What did you find as a result of the time that we spent together?
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the big obstacles for me, Jonathan, is I did not know how to find topics that would be interesting to my prospective customers and that could nurture them towards the process of making the next step with me. So what happened for me, what was very helpful, is just learning how to find those topics and to not wonder what people were interested in, but to be able to identify, to put my finger on what they were already looking for.
What would you say out of our time together, and you might have already said it, what feature did you like most about working together?
Okay, so I'll just tell those who are watching, listening to this, I had a huge fear roadblock mentally of doing solo episodes. I just felt like, okay, I don't know what to share in it. So I was going to share from inside of my course. I was going to give too much information. Let's just say that. But working with you, you helped me to, one, get inside of the mind of those who were going to work with me before they started working with me. That was one, to identify what they were interested in. And then the second part is how to approach picking topics. That was another thing, because it's so easy to just get in your head and like, what am I going to think? And then you just help me to find a simple process. Here's how you find topics that they already are searching for, that already have traction. And that's a huge weight off of my shoulder.
Nice. I'm stoked for you, man. What would you say are 3 other benefits of the time that we spent working together?
I'll tell you what, this might sound weird for some people. It gave me some confidence because I had all these pieces and I felt, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I gained confidence that through working with you that I did have the right stuff. I just needed to have everything talk to each other, get aligned. So one, I left with some confidence. Okay, I'm not as far off as I thought I might have been. 2, it helped me to create, we did that story brand thing, helped me to create like, what's the call to actions? Like, what's the next steps? What each piece of work that I was doing, where that fit into the equation. So that was a second benefit. And then I feel like I have a process now to create content on an ongoing basis. I know how to do it now.
This is a big one. Would you recommend working with us? If so, why?
Well, I've already started recommending working with you.
Thank you.
The reason why is, I think in this world of content creation, where they say content is king, it's very easy for people who are doing the work like I do, people who are coaches, consultants, for us to not know where to find that good content and to put out content that we think is helpful, but it's not really moving business forward. And I think, to me, if content is king, making sales is the queen, right? And if your content is not serving that, you're not really building business. So that's why I would recommend people work with you, because you help me to figure out right content so that it can grow my business.
Yeah, that alignment. I like it, man. Anything else you want to add as we're wrapping up?
I just love the experience working with you, Jonathan. I love your style of coaching. It was very encouraging, but also direct. So I felt like, okay, I can do this, but also here are some areas I needed to correct. And I gained so much more value than what I paid for.
Man, you are a gem. I am so stoked to see you grow. Thank you for taking time out today to rap with us.
Awesome.